Hey guys, I'm Mariana, and today I'm going to be talking about Locke Key comic book series written by Joe Hill and illustrated by Gabriel Rodriguez. So Locke Key is a comic book series that is already finished. The last volume came out last year in 2014, and there are 6 total. The first one is Welcome to Lovecraft, which is this one. Then we have, these are pretty heavy. Then we have Head Games. Then we have Crown of Shadows and Keys to the Kingdom. Then number 5 is Clockworks, and number 6 is Alpha and Omega. And fun fact, the Locke & Key film trilogy has been officially announced at the 2014 Comic-Con, so that's really exciting, and it is a perfect time to start reading these if you haven't read them already, so you'll be all ready for the films whenever they make them. But let me tell you about the story a little bit. The story revolves around the Locke family, who after a tragic event moved to this old New England mansion called the Key House, and within the Key House there are all these hidden keys. They obviously don't know about this, but there are all these hidden keys that open these secret doors and some other secret things. And once these doors or things are opened, the person who opened them is transformed in some way. Now, this may sound like your typical fantasy, paranormal, kind of haunted mansion type of story, but it is also definitely something that belongs in the horror genre. It is a very dark story. It has quite a few scary and creepy moments. I tried reading it before bed a few times, and I was kind of majorly creeped out after that. And it definitely doesn't shy away from violence and gore, even though that's not the main point of the story. It's definitely still there, and it appears very suddenly in the book. You'll be reading about these keys, and then bam, there is somebody without an eye. That happens in Locke & Key. The art style matches this kind of story and this mood that it tries to create really, really well. I wasn't a fan of the way a couple of characters were drawn, but I still thought that it matched really, really well. And just the way the colors are used, the palette is very earthy and kind of toned down, and the way the emotions are displayed, the facial expressions, the detail that is added to every single thing is just beautiful, and it's the perfect illustration for this kind of story. Because this is written by Joe Hill, whom you probably have already heard of. He is a famous writer. He wrote Horns, he wrote NOS 482, he wrote Heart-Shaped Box. He is also Stephen King's son. If you didn't know about that, I didn't until recently. But to me, the strength of this comic book series is within its characters and within its rich background. There is just so much character development that is happening to almost everybody who you encounter, and there is a lot of background story that gets slowly revealed. There are also a lot of subplots for smaller characters that are just as interesting as the main characters. And there's a lot of backstory for the keys and the house themselves. A lot of that happens in Volume 5, Clockworks. This one over here. This one is entirely dedicated to the time before current events, and it makes the current events make a lot more sense. This was actually one of my favorite volumes out of the 6. Every character has a unique voice and unique personality that is very distinguishable from the other characters, and I even liked the child protagonist of this. I am normally not a fan of child protagonists, but the little guy in here named Bodhi is just the cutest, most curious little boy, and he definitely makes the story happen. When I was rating the volumes individually, I thought the first 2, the Welcome to Lovecraft and Head Games, were really, really good. I really enjoyed them. I gave them 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought they were just an excellent start to a series. The third volume, Crown of Shadows, I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. I still thought it was really, really good, obviously 4 out of 5, but I was starting to get a little frustrated with some characters, and I thought some of the decisions that they made were a little frustrating. to me. Not that they were out of character, but my expectations were also getting higher and higher after the first 2 volumes, which were amazing. So this one was a 4 out of 5 for me. The 4th volume, Keys to the Kingdom, was my least favorite out of all of them. I still enjoyed it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 rating, but I thought the story didn't flow as well. There were just bits and pieces of it all over the place, and there was a lot of gore in this one that didn't necessarily feel like it needed to be there. It wasn't really overwhelming, but compared to the other ones, it just didn't feel as natural. It just felt like showing key after key, and then the villain is being terrible, and it just didn't work quite as well for me, but I still enjoyed it, and I obviously kept reading. And then, as I've mentioned before, number 5, Clockworks, was my favorite, and also the last one, Alpha and Omega, was my other favorite. I gave both of these 5 out of 5. I thought these were fantastic. It was really cool to see the backstory for everything, because there is just so much rich history going on, and then the way everything wrapped up was just mind-blowing. Couldn't put this down. I thought these were great. I thought the series definitely gained momentum as it went on, and these 2 were just fantastic. Overall, I highly recommend the Locke Key series, as long as you're prepared for some violence, because it definitely exists. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 for the series overall, just because even though I really enjoyed the art and the presentation and the story, the 2 in the middle, the Volume 3 and Volume 4, got a little rocky for me. Now that the movies have been announced, I am really curious how those are going to turn out. I hope they get somebody with a lot of imagination to direct these. I would be happy if it was somebody like Guillermo del Toro or even Tim Burton. I think those guys would be perfect for a dark but very creative story such as this one. And I hope Joe Hill would get some say in the script, or perhaps even adapt the script himself. That'd be really cool. I don't know about the cast, haven't really thought about that, but they definitely need some really good actors as well, because there's a lot of dark emotional stuff going on in the series. Let me know what you think. If you have read Locke & Key, let me know what your dream cast would be or dream director, and if you haven't, let me know if this sounds like something you would read, and let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye!